Thank you for believing in our mission, in what Gary started, and the truths that he worked so hard to share with the world. It was about his discovery and his desire to share that discovery with those who were looking for a different way, a natural way of living, and natural way of taking care of their families. Much of what he knew was instinctive, and what he learned through his own research and potential learning decades ago. Today, so much that he taught is now being proven scientifically, and the research continues. Gary was a pioneer, and all of you are pioneers in this movement. Here we are, 30 years later, and the boys are grown up and have become a great part of this legacy. I know their father would be so proud of them and so happy. I can almost see the tears running down his cheeks. Did you get that, Gary? We're watching. We know you're here, and we're grateful. I am surrounded not only by the most dedicated and committed management team that we have ever had, but I am also surrounded by hundreds of passionate and talented employees for whom I feel so much love and gratitude. Make sure you thank them and express your gratitude, because they have worked hundreds of hours preparing for this convention to make it great and wonderful for all of you. And it wouldn't be possible without all of them. But what would be the point of all of this were it not for all of you? It's amazing to think how it all works together. I was out in the field. I had my own business for 10 years, and I loved every minute of it. I still have that feeling. I'm still like one of you. I think like you think, as if I were out in the field. So I know how you feel. And we have to do it together. That's what makes it work. One part doesn't work without the other part. And because we are so many parts, we have to listen and understand each other to have success. I would say that's a pretty big family arrangement, wouldn't you? Isn't that how families work together? I remember a conversation that Gary and I had when he was painting the ceiling and I was scrubbing the floor of the building in Riverton, when he said, "Mary, I want to bring back honesty and integrity to this industry. I want people to look at Young Living and talk about how honest our products are, how great our compensation plan is, what a great business opportunity it is, and how happy they are to be part of our company." I have to be honest and tell you, when I was first introduced to network marketing, I didn't want anything to do with it, because I thought this was a business where all the people at the top sucked all the money from the little people at the bottom, and I was one of those little people, and I didn't like it. I couldn't have been more wrong. When I discovered that I could make some money by sharing the products, I became determined to learn all the details of the compensation plan so that I could make it work for me. Now get this, I was shy. I know you don't believe it, but I was. Inexperienced. I was an opera singer. That's all I knew how to do. I didn't have any business experience. I didn't know how to talk about business, and I didn't know how to get people involved. Now, that's not really a great scenario for success, is it? But I could sit around the kitchen table and talk about the products and get people excited, because I was excited. And my business grew despite all my fears. Believe me, I know how many of you feel, and I relate to those insecurities. But I have learned you can tell anyone anything about that about which you are excited. Am I right? Are you excited about sharing Ninja Red? Are you excited about a bottle of Helichrysum? I am. That's my favorite oil. I asked everyone in the office to diffuse abundance and believe. Get those molecules in the air, stimulating your mind and drawing abundance to you. Young living is the real deal. You don't have to make it up, and you don't have to sugarcoat it. If you tell someone that our oils are the best, that they are produced with the highest standard possible, that our compensation plan is fair, then you can feel that warmth in your heart, knowing that you are speaking truth. When I heard Gary talk about the spiritual use of oils, their ancient history, and what he was discovering, I knew I was hearing truth, and I wanted to be a part of that truth. Gary fought his entire life for the truth that was spoken 30 years ago, which is the same truth that we speak today. So why are we here? You each have your own reason, but I am here for two reasons. I am here to celebrate the great legacy that Gary gave us, to celebrate and acknowledge the vision and tenacity of one man who, despite many obstacles and adversities, was determined to bring the message to all of you, to the world. I can't imagine life without my essential oils and the great products that we have that are made with essential oils. Gary was the first in the world to put essential oils into nutritional supplements, and everyone laughed at him. Everyone told him he was crazy. If Gary had paid attention to all that noise, none of us would be here today. There would be so many things that we just wouldn't have. Gary brought essential oils to the masses, to the everyday person like you and me. He made essential oils a household word. Just think about the demand for our thieves' products worldwide. Wow, what a great idea he had. When Gary started, there was little interest in essential oils, except in Europe for the doctors and other professional people who were doing some research. But it definitely was not taught for everyday use. The intricacy and the simplicity of application became ours, even for the children with their roll-ons and bath products. My great sadness is that Gary is not on stage here. He was the great educator who we all loved. But he said to me, "Mary, I have given you everything you need to carry the mission forward." I didn't realize what he was saying to me because I couldn't imagine life without Gary. Today, he puts thoughts and ideas into my head, and I often feel his energy, but it's not the same. You know that. But I still walk that same path with all of you. We are the ones to carry the legacy into the future. The second reason I am here is to celebrate you, to celebrate your accomplishments, because without you, as the boys have said, there would be no young living. You breathe the energy of life into an opportunity of joy and wellness and abundance with whomever you meet. It is your love and caring for each other and for the mission you carry to the world that strengthens our foundation. Young living is a family of many different cultures, languages, beliefs, and thought processes. Together, we are on a journey towards health, well-being, and abundance. And the journeys are best taken with other people. It's not fun to walk a journey by yourself. We all walk many different paths, but the destination is the same. And when we are together, we understand each other. I love being with like-minded people because that gives me strength and motivation to carry on through whatever troubles or challenges come our way. Look beyond the motivation of governments and the desire for power and money. Look to the hearts of those who are like-minded and see the good in others and express your concern and offer your friendship and share your knowledge. Remember the kitchen table. That's my favorite place to share. I can only speak for myself, my family, and those with whom I work daily. But God is the foundation on which we build. Young Living was built on godly principles, the principles of honesty, integrity, kindness, love, caring for one another. If I didn't care about you and the great mission that we have, I would not be here. The challenges can be so daunting at times. It isn't worth it for the sake of the dollar. But it is worth it for you because I care and I want the best for everyone. And the more who join us, the more powerful we become as a force for good in the world. I still have the same commitment that Gary and I had when we started Young Living. Young Living was built with a purpose, a mission, and that has never changed. There are so many businesses failing everywhere, especially in this industry. Why? Do they not have good products? Shall we start laughing? Are they not built on a solid foundation with a purpose? Are they just chasing the dollar? Yeah, most of them are. Where is the sustainability and the security of a business built to last? If you chase the dollar, you will always be jumping from one company to another. The uncertainty and the anxiety that comes from chasing the dollar never goes away. We are a family business created for longevity, for those who catch the vision and become part of our mission. I will never go public with Young Living. I will never sell out to a private company. Just let me ask you this. How do you sell a legacy? How do you sell a mission? How do you sell a purpose? For the deep love and connection that Gary and I had, for how and why we built Young Living, with him as the genius behind all that we have, I would betray him if I did anything differently than what we do today. He wouldn't let me sleep at night. He'd be putting all kinds of nightmares in my head. I don't know what Gary might do. But this is not acceptable. We are not here for the dollar. Of course we have to make money. We have salaries to pay, inventory to purchase, but money is not the driving force. There seems to be a lot of uncertainty, about the longevity of the network marketing industry. Just recently, some networking companies decided to abandon their business model with no apparent regard for how their people would be affected. I can hear my conversation with Gary if I were to ask him, why would a company ruin the business and destroy the income of those who helped build that company? And his response would be, and I heard it many times, Mary, you can't understand because you are not like them, so quit asking. Gary chose the network marketing way because he felt it was the best way to educate each other and to educate new people who joined. With that came an opportunity to have a home-based business, to be able to stay at home with the children if that was the desire. You can't ask people to put a lot of time into sharing the products when there's no financial benefit. People need to earn a living. They need to pay their bills, meet the necessities of life. But a good and fair compensation plan solves that need, besides being able to build that residual income, which for me is the best part of this kind of a compensation plan. We are not going to abandon this business model. I do not understand the mentality of destroying a business that someone put her or his heart and soul into building. We are not that kind of a business. I am not like them. Jacob and Joseph are not like them. We at Young Living are not like them. Young Living was built for your benefit, for your health and wellness and joy of abundance. You will always be safe with Young Living. We will only make little adjustments to continually improve it, to make it better for you, for those of you who are building and carrying forth the legacy that Gary left us. Jacob and Joseph are dedicated to following in their father's footsteps. They desire to continue on that. You see that. You watch them up here on stage. You hear their words. They are dedicated to continuing forth what their father dedicated his life to, which is to continue to grow Young Living, to be bigger and better, and to spread the joy of wellness to those who desire to improve their lives and reach their highest potential. How blessed we are to have Kate join our family, to be Jacob's partner and share in this family enterprise. And believe me, we love having her be a part of what we do. You can choose to jump from marketing one product to another, but what is your goal? Are you helping people in need? The people of the world are sick from disease and emotional stress. We have the best products in the world, and the world needs our products. So many people have questions, and we have many of those answers. You have those answers because you are the messengers. We are a true partnership, and the joy of working together and being successful has rewards beyond description. We will always have challenges, but together we will find solutions. We will find peace, and we will feel love in our hearts for staying true to our commitment and knowing that the truth we have will never change. I have always been a truth seeker, and I have always said, those who are looking for truth recognize it when they hear it. I cannot walk away from truth. Can you? We come together to strengthen each other, uplift each other, and celebrate our accomplishments together, exactly as we are doing at this convention. That reminds me of an experience I had about a month ago when I went to a local health food store to buy some lemons because Joseph and I decided to go on the master cleanse. When I got to the health food store, they were completely sold out, and I was frustrated because I had to go clear across town to another health food store to get the lemons that I needed. But I got them, and we went on the cleanse, and we had a great time. We did, didn't we? Joseph was so faithful. He was amazing. But it was interesting because I got into a conversation with the produce manager. And as I walked by, I was just kind of being smart aleck. And I said, well, I'm glad to see you got more lemons in. And he looked up at me kind of startled. And then he said, oh, let me tell you what happened. So he told me about this elderly lady who came in and bought every single lemon they had, over $200 worth. And he said, we couldn't figure out what she was going to do with all those lemons. Maybe she was going to do the master cleanse for a couple of months. Who knows? But we talked more and more. He asked me where I lived. I told him we lived up in the mountains in Alpine. And we talked about the store. And I said, I just love this store so much because they have only organic produce. And he looked at me and said, yes, and it's always certified. And I said, yes, I know. It's so wonderful. But you can't, organic isn't everything. And he said, yeah, but you live in Alpine. You have good water and good air. And I said, yes, I do. And I grow a garden every year. And I probably eat out of my garden for 6 months. And what's left over, I put in the back of my car and take to the office and give to everybody. And I can tell you, everybody loved all the produce. I mean, there's nothing like a tomato ripened on the vine that has no chemicals. It's fantastic. But as we talked, I was telling him I didn't tell him who I was or anything about me. And he said, well, do you work? And I said, yeah, I work for a company called Young Living. And he said, oh, that's really good. They have great oils. And I said, yes, they do. And I said, I've taught my boys how to read labels. And they're very persnickety about the food they eat, what they do, how they live. And he looked at me, and this is I'd never given this a thought. But he said, let me tell you something. When your generation is gone, there won't be another like it. And I just went, wow, I'd never heard that before. And I said, what do you mean? He said, the young people don't care about health. All they want to do is eat fast food and talk on their cell phones and play video games and have a good time. They don't seem to care about the longevity of life, and with the way the world's going, so many of them have lost hope. They don't even know what the point is. And I thought to myself, you don't know about my Young Living family. But when I heard that, as I walked out to my car and I'm driving home, I'm thinking about his words. And I thought to myself, how sad it is that that is the perception today. And that when I'm gone, when I'm with Gary, when I leave all of you here, you have no idea. I have big plans. But I think, who's going to carry the message? Who's going to teach people about growing a garden? Not spraying the vegetables with chemicals, not using chemicals on your food when you cook. Get rid of all that grease and the white salt and the white flour. Who's going to be talking? It's going to be you. You're the ones who are going to be out there educating. So you can say, do we have a responsibility because of what we know? You might say yes, but responsibility creates pressure. And we all have enough pressure in our lives, am I right? But what about thinking of it as an opportunity? An opportunity where we can share information that could change someone's life forever. Think about it. What kind of a world do we want for ourselves and our children? You heard Jacob talk about the partnership that Gary and I had. No matter what you experience in life, if you have a great partnership, you can conquer anything if you desire. We are partners with our families. We are partners with those in our business. We are all partners here together sharing this convention because our desire is the same. But we are partners with God, the great creator of all. And you just think about those principles of honesty and integrity, of love and kindness for one another. It's not about what someone's government is doing that we don't like. How many of those people who live in those countries like what their government's doing? They hate it too. They want love and peace. Don't blame the individual for what a wretched government does. And I'm going to get carried away. I get on a roll. Gary and I were great freedom fighters. I'm still a freedom fighter. But the freedom that we want is the freedom to live the way we desire. The freedom to worship God, to worship however we want. The freedom to eat as we want. The freedom to teach our children what we want. And to not have garbage forced down our throats, and for our children to be brainwashed in brainwashed schools. Young living is different. We are different. You are different. You are different because you're here. The opportunity is vast. And the reward is great when you see the benefit that comes to other people. Your beliefs usually determine your experience in life. When you understand that the oils are the living essence of the plant kingdom, which God created, your experience with essential oils can be great. Look at what's going on in the world. Are you going to be a part of the solution, or are you going to sit with your feet up on the sofa and watch a soap opera? Who are you? We are here. We are part of the solution. Young living is part of the solution, and we have lots of things that we want to do and lots of ways that we're going to help. And every time you talk to someone about that little bottle of oil, you're creating a question in their mind. You started a flicker of positivity, of truth, of bringing something new into their lives, something perhaps they'd never heard of. But we are bringing what God created into their lives, not what comes out of the laboratory, what the big chemical companies would brainwash us into believing. You can't go wrong with what God created, no matter what you do. We are here to serve you. Young Living is the servant of all who make the effort to come and be part of this great movement. I love you all. Thank you.